In March of 1965, Selma, Alabama, became the backdrop for a pivotal event in American history. The atmosphere was charged with hope and determination as thousands of people gathered to march for civil rights. They were united in their quest for equality, bravely stepping forward to challenge the deep-rooted injustices that African Americans faced in the South. Among the marchers were individuals of all ages, backgrounds, and stories, each carrying their own dreams for a better future. As the sun rose on that fateful day, the streets of Selma filled with chanting voices and resolute footsteps. Many marched with signs demanding their rights while others simply walked side by side, sharing a sense of purpose and community. It was not just about marching. It was about standing up for what was right and fighting against discrimination that had persisted for far too long. The march from Selma to Montgomery was organized to demand voting rights, a fundamental right that had been denied to many African Americans. As they walked, participants faced extreme challenges, including hostile opposition and physical discomfort. Yet their spirits remained high. They were fueled by the desire to create change and inspire future generations. Among them was 13-year-old Alma Robinson, who might have seemed like just another young face in the crowd, but her presence symbolized resilience and courage. She had come to join the movement alongside her community, feeling the urgency of the moment despite her young age. However, as she made her way down the road, she felt pain with each step because her shoes had broken just the day before. This combination of hope and hardship painted a vivid picture of what it meant to be part of this historic march. The marchers' determination served as an inspiration not only to themselves but also to those watching from afar, reminding everyone that great change often comes from collective action and unwavering belief in justice. Among the thousands of marchers in Selma was a remarkable young girl named Alma Robinson. At just 13 years old, Alma was not only brave but also deeply committed to the cause of civil rights. While many children her age might have shied away from such a significant and challenging event, Alma felt an urgency to be a part of it. This was more than just a march. It was a chance to stand up for her rights and those of her family and friends. Alma grew up in a community where she witnessed firsthand the struggles that African Americans faced daily. She heard stories from her parents and grandparents about the injustices they endured, and these stories ignited a fire within her to join the fight for equality. She understood that this march represented hope, not just for herself but for everyone who dreamed of a better future. Walking among hundreds of determined individuals, Alma felt empowered. She was inspired by their courage, yet she also faced her own challenges. After breaking her shoes just before the march, she found herself walking barefoot on the hot pavement, feeling every rough patch beneath her feet. Despite this discomfort, she pressed on, motivated by the weight of history and the importance of their mission. Alma's spirit shone brightly as she marched alongside older activists, feeling like an essential part of something much bigger than herself. Each step she took symbolized not only her personal bravery, but also the strength found in unity. She knew that being part of this movement meant taking risks, but she believed deeply in what they were fighting for, a future where every person would have the right to vote and be treated equally. As she continued down the road, limping from exhaustion yet filled with determination, Alma embodied the essence of youthful bravery, a reminder that change often begins with passionate individuals willing to stand up for what is right. Her journey would inspire many others to join the cause and fight for justice alongside her. As Alma Robinson joined the throngs of marchers, the reality of her situation became increasingly evident. Just the day before, her shoes had broken, leaving her with no choice but to go barefoot on the hot and rough pavement of Selma. Each step sent sharp pangs through her feet, a constant reminder of the physical challenges faced by many participants in this historic event. Walking without shoes was not just a personal discomfort for Alma. It represented the broader struggles that countless individuals endured while fighting for their rights. Many marchers came from humble backgrounds, often sacrificing their comfort and safety to stand up against injustice. The grit and determination displayed by each person were palpable, and Alma felt every bit of that shared struggle as she limped along. With each step, she felt the heat of the sun beating down on her shoulders, but she also sensed the strength of her fellow marchers beside her. They were all there for a purpose greater than themselves, a collective desire to demand change and equality. Walking barefoot became a symbol of resilience, showing that even in pain, they would not back down. Alma noticed others around her who faced their own hardships. Some wore worn-out shoes that barely protected their feet, while others marched with signs held high despite exhaustion etched across their faces. The sense of unity among them was powerful. Everyone was determined to push through discomfort for the sake of justice. In that moment, as she trudged forward on blistered feet, Alma felt connected to something profound. She understood that her temporary pain was part of a much larger fight for freedom and equality. It was a small sacrifice compared to what many had experienced in their lives. This understanding fueled her spirit further, reminding her that every march forward was a step toward a hopeful future where everyone could enjoy equal rights. Each footfall echoed with purpose, making every ounce of effort worthwhile in pursuit of justice. As Alma continued to limp along the route, her spirit undeterred by the discomfort of her bare feet, an extraordinary moment unfolded nearby. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a towering figure in the March for Civil Rights, was making his way through the crowd when he caught sight of her struggling. His keen awareness and compassion for those around him were evident as he paused, taking in the scene before him. Dr. King had always believed that true leadership involved understanding the struggles of others, and in that instant, he recognized Alma's pain as a reflection of the broader hardships faced by countless marchers. He approached her slowly, his eyes filled with empathy and concern. It was a moment that spoke volumes without uttering a single word. Without hesitation, Dr. King knelt down and removed his own shoes. This simple yet profound act displayed not only his generosity but also his deep connection to the movement and its participants. The symbol of him giving up his own comfort so selflessly resonated with everyone around them, illustrating that true leadership involves sacrifice and caring for one another. Alma looked up in surprise as he handed her his shoes. In that fleeting moment, she felt seen and valued, her struggles acknowledged by one of the most influential leaders of the time. The shoes were larger than her small feet, but they represented much more than just footwear. They were a powerful reminder of solidarity and support. The scene captured not only Alma's personal experience, but also highlighted the compassion embedded within the movement itself. Dr. King's gesture served as a beacon of hope amidst their struggle, reinforcing the idea that every person's journey mattered in their fight for justice. As they continued to march together, Alma felt renewed strength surging through her as she wore Dr. King's shoes symbolically on her heart. The connection she felt in that moment would stay with her forever, a testament to how acts of kindness can uplift spirits and inspire collective action for change. As Alma continued to struggle with each step, a hush fell over the nearby marchers as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. approached her. His presence was commanding yet gentle. He exuded a sense of calm that seemed to resonate throughout the crowd. The noise of chanting voices faded momentarily, replaced by an almost reverent silence that surrounded this pivotal encounter. Dr. King, sensing the weight of the moment, squatted down beside Alma. She looked up at him, her brown eyes filled with surprise and confusion. Without saying a word, he began to untie his shoelaces. The act itself was intentional and deliberate, as if he wanted everyone to feel the significance of what was happening. He removed his shoes carefully, each movement speaking volumes about his character and commitment to compassion. As he held out his shoes toward Alma, they glistened in the sunlight, contrasting with the dusty road beneath them. They were much larger than her feet, symbolizing not just comfort but also a profound connection between them, a passing of strength from one person to another. In that silent exchange, both realized that this act went beyond mere kindness. It illustrated a deep solidarity among those fighting for justice. Alma reached out tentatively to accept the shoes, her small hands trembling slightly as she grasped them. An overwhelming wave of gratitude enveloped her as she slipped her feet into Dr. King's shoes. They felt foreign yet comforting, an empowering reminder that even in moments of struggle, support could be found in unexpected places. The other marchers bore witness to this act of profound kindness and began murmuring amongst themselves, inspired by what they had just witnessed. Dr. King's selflessness began to ripple through the crowd, motivating others to show compassion in their own ways. It was a silent declaration: no matter how tough times got on their journey for equality, they would face it together. For Alma, wearing those shoes transformed pain into purpose. The discomfort she had endured was now outweighed by a sense of belonging and strength that surged within her. This simple gesture became a lasting image of hope, serving as a powerful reminder that true leadership is rooted in empathy and shared humanity, a legacy Dr. King would carry forward long after the march ended. As Alma slipped her feet into Dr. King's shoes, a wave of emotions washed over her: gratitude, relief, and an overwhelming sense of being seen. In that simple exchange, she felt a connection that transformed her experience from one of hardship to one of recognition and support. The pain that had accompanied her bare feet seemed to fade, replaced by the warmth of Dr. King's kindness wrapping around her like a comforting blanket. For a young girl participating in such a monumental event, being noticed by a figure as influential as Dr. King made her feel valued in a way she had never experienced before. In that moment, she was not just another face in the crowd, she was a part of something much greater, a movement striving for justice and equality. The act of receiving his shoes was more than just a gesture, it was a powerful affirmation of her worth and her role in the fight for civil rights. Alma's heart swelled with pride as she realized that she was contributing to this important cause alongside other brave individuals. The weight of the shoes on her feet symbolized not only Dr. King's support but also the collective strength of the marchers around her. It reminded her that they were all in this together, fighting against injustice, and striving for a future where everyone would be treated equally. The impact of this gesture extended beyond Alma that day. It inspired her to carry forward Dr. King's legacy in her own life. She vowed to be an advocate for those who felt overlooked or unheard, encouraging others to recognize the importance of kindness and compassion in their daily lives. Every step Alma took wearing those shoes reaffirmed her belief that even small acts can create ripples of change. Through Dr. King's selfless act, she learned that everyone has the power to uplift others and make a difference, no matter how small their actions may seem in the grand scheme of history. That day in Selma became a turning point for Alma, one filled with hope and determination to continue fighting for justice alongside her community. The lasting image of Dr. King's gesture in Selma stands as a powerful reminder of the empathy and leadership that are essential in the fight for justice. When he removed his shoes and offered them to young Alma Robinson, he demonstrated that true leadership is not just about leading from the front but also about connecting with those who are struggling. In that moment, he embodied the spirit of compassion, showing that every individual's struggle matters and that each person's pain is woven into the collective journey for equality. This silent yet profound act created a ripple effect that resonated far beyond that day in March 1965. It became a symbol of hope and solidarity, encouraging others to recognize the importance of uplifting one another. Dr. King's action illuminated the notion that even leaders must be willing to share in the burdens of those they lead, fostering an atmosphere of mutual respect and support. People around him took notice, and his gesture inspired many to reflect on their role within the movement. It challenged them to show kindness and compassion in their daily lives, reminding everyone that small actions can lead to monumental change. The image injected new energy into the march, instilling courage in the hearts of participants, and reinforcing their determination to continue fighting for justice. Years later, this moment would be recounted as a testament to the character of Dr. King as a leader who prioritizes humanity over status. It serves as an enduring reminder that effective leaders strive to empathize with those they serve, making sacrifices when necessary to bridge gaps of understanding. Alma would carry this experience with her throughout her life, using it as motivation to advocate for others who felt unheard or invisible. The simplicity of sharing shoes transcended the act itself. It became a fundamental lesson in recognizing shared struggles and standing together against oppression. Ultimately, this singular moment in Selma symbolizes the heart of the civil rights movement, the belief that by lifting each other up, they could forge a path toward a brighter future for all. The moment when Dr. King handed his shoes to Alma Robinson became a powerful symbol of solidarity within the civil rights movement, resonating deeply with marchers and supporters alike. It illustrated how caring for one another, particularly during challenging times, can unite individuals in their quest for justice. The image captured not just a single act of kindness but a larger message about community and compassion, a reminder that everyone has a role to play in the fight for equality. As news of Dr. King's gesture spread, it ignited inspiration among those involved in the movement. People began to recognize that their collective strength lay in their willingness to support each other, no matter how small the act. This sense of solidarity became vital as they faced numerous challenges along their journey, from physical obstacles to societal opposition. Each gesture of kindness, much like Dr. King's, encouraged others to reflect on their responsibilities to uplift their fellow activists. The exchange between Dr. King and Alma served as a rallying point, urging participants to acknowledge the shared struggles they encountered. It fostered an environment where empathy flourished, encouraging marchers to look beyond themselves and consider the needs of others. This spirit was not just limited to the march, it seeped into community gatherings, meetings, and day-to-day interactions as people began actively looking for ways to help one another. In classrooms and neighborhoods across the country, stories of this moment inspired young people to engage in acts of kindness within their own communities. The powerful visual of Dr. King removing his shoes became an emblematic lesson that leadership involves vulnerability and a willingness to share one's burdens with those who are struggling. As Alma grew older, she would often reflect on that day. The warmth she felt from wearing Dr. King's shoes transcended mere comfort. It became a lifelong commitment to advocating for those who felt unheard or overlooked. The lasting impact of that moment reminds us all that true change is propelled by empathy and supportive action, reinforcing the understanding that every individual has the power to uplift others in their pursuit of justice. This enduring message remains central to the legacy of the civil rights movement, illustrating how acts of solidarity can spark hope and inspire collective action for a better future. The poignant moment when Dr. King offered his shoes to Alma Robinson serves as a lasting reminder of how acts of kindness can have a profound impact on individuals and communities. This simple, yet powerful gesture encapsulates the essence of compassion that transcends difficult circumstances. It reveals how one person's willingness to share their comfort can ignite hope in another, driving home the important message that we all have the power to make a difference in someone else's life. In turbulent times like those experienced during the civil rights movement, small acts of kindness not only uplift individuals but also foster a spirit of unity and solidarity among communities. They remind us that collective strength stems from our ability to support one another during struggles, embedding empathy into our everyday interactions. Dr. King's act inspired many marchers to reflect on how they could contribute positively to their community, encouraging an environment where caring for one another became a foundational principle. This legacy continues today, embodying the idea that everyone can play a role in promoting compassion and understanding in their daily lives. When we choose to help others, whether through simple gestures or more significant commitments, we create ripples of kindness that can spread far beyond our immediate surroundings. These acts encourage individuals from all walks of life to step up and be advocates for change, standing together in the face of adversity. Moreover, as people share their stories and experiences shaped by these moments of support, they reinforce the belief that justice is not just an abstract goal but something achievable through our everyday actions. Alma's journey and her encounter with Dr. King remind us that leading with kindness can mold resilient communities capable of tackling grand challenges. In conclusion, acts of kindness, regardless of their scale, are crucial in building stronger relationships and nurturing compassionate societies. They reflect our shared humanity and remind us that each person's actions matter. By embracing this spirit of generosity, we can keep alive the legacy of leaders like Dr. King and empower future generations to continue striving for justice with empathy at the forefront.